The issue we're having right now in Smithtown is fairly new. It's come to our attention, I would say, in the last 2 years. And the actual issue is that there are some residents who have planted bamboo as a form of aesthetic planting. Some of them have planted it for privacy, things of that nature. It is what they call running bamboo. And the initial problem is that this bamboo has encroached into neighbors' yards. And some of these neighbors, two that I'm aware of, have come to the town board because it has encroached to such an extensive manner that they're having problems eradicating it from their yard. So that's the basic issue we're dealing with.
Bamboo was originally brought into the United States from Asia in the late 1800s as an ornamental plant. And it really is quite a beautiful plant. It does provide privacy. People didn't realize that it would become a problem and it would become invasive. There are two main types of bamboo. One is the running or invasive kind, and then the other is the clumping or non-invasive kind. And both can be used as ornamentals and make a beautiful living fence. The running bamboos will spread very fast, and the clumping bamboos will also spread a little bit, and both grow very fast. So I think really the main advantage comes down to the price and availability. The running bamboos are found much more commonly in nurseries on Long Island, and the clumping form, although it is beneficial in that it doesn't have that invasive ability to it, it's less common and is also traditionally more expensive as well. The clumping form of bamboo, you want to look on the plant tag for the scientific name Fargesia. The clumping form of bamboo, it does grow fast as well. It has rhizomes, it has underground stems, but those underground stems only grow out from the original clump about maybe 4 to 10 inches a year. So you will certainly get a lot of growth. It can get up to 20 feet tall or so, and it will look very beautiful. It has more of a vase shape than a running form. So I do think the clumping bamboos are certainly a viable option if you do want to plant bamboo. The spreading bamboo spreads by underground rhizomes, which are underground stems, and those underground stems can extend several feet from where the original roots are. It's very difficult to prevent the spread of running bamboos. Really, the best way, if you've already planted a plant, is to put in a root barrier, a rhizome barrier. You would have to install a root barrier about 36 inches deep into the ground to prevent the spread of those underground stems. There are commercial products out there, but it is certainly an expensive procedure, and over a period of time they can degrade, and once the rhizomes get past the root barrier, then it's pretty much ineffective. If your neighbor ends up planting bamboo and it starts spreading into your yard, there really aren't many options besides the root barrier. I think it comes down to talking with your neighbors, trying to help educate them.
As a town board, we have had some discussions about whether or not we ban it or not. Unfortunately, our legal department has advised us that there could be a myriad of problems with trying to ban it. So at the present time, what we're doing here in the town of Smithtown, we have our legal department, our environmental department, looking into doing some research on what way we can go, whether we ban it or whether we come up with some type of an ordinance where the bamboo, if planted, has to be maintained and prohibited from going into a neighbor's property.
I think if we were going to ban certain ornamental plants such as bamboo, it needs to be a region-wide thing. It can't be each individual locality has its own individual laws, and every landscaper on Long Island has to know the laws of every individual municipality. If the scientific review committee gains further evidence that bamboo is becoming more problematic in natural areas, then they might reevaluate their assessment and perhaps suggest that it be banned. But currently, that's not the status. There are other nice evergreens that really make a nice privacy screen. Western arborvitae is a great option, and you do want to make sure that there's enough room for them because they can get wide and they definitely will get tall over the years.
I know when we do our park work, where we have our community parks next to residential neighborhoods, we quite often use white pines, arborvitaes. There's a myriad of plantings that can be done for buffers, probably a much, much better choice than any type of running bamboo.
If you wanted to not plant invasive plants, certainly that is very important to not plant plants that are banned on Long Island, and you can find that information on our website, ccesuffolk.org. And I think also a lot of homeowners need to consider at least planting native plants for Long Island, plants that are adapted to our environment, that are adapted to our soils. And certainly to take a soil test to determine what sort of soil you have and match either those native plants or those non-invasive, non-native plants to your soil is extremely important.
We feel that there are a number of residents who actually don't realize when they plant it exactly what species it is and what the result of planting it can be. We found that to be true, where people have purchased it and really didn't know, no one explained to them exactly what was going to happen. So I think an educational program like this to at least initially go out to our residents and explain what can happen is very, very beneficial. I think you may find many residents that then will not plant it.